am having a very, very bad morning. Look in my face. I'm not in a very good mood. I'm not in a very good mood. Now, it's supposed to be orange and blue skies. It was supposed to be orange and blue skies, okay? But as you can see, there's rain descending down upon us. Thunder. Yes, I'm in OKC, but damn it, I'm talking about the New York Knicks. You saw what happened last night. They were in the lead. They had a 17-point lead. And then my assistant, Sumatra, okay, started clapping and celebrating like the world was ours. She got cocky. And the rest of the Knicks sensed it. And so did Karl Anthony Towns. And so did Jalen Brunson. And so did everybody else. And suddenly everything collapsed. And I'm sitting here now. So I'm just warning y'all today. I am not in a very good mood at all. At all. Molly, I'm warning you, this is not the day to mess with me. First takes in the house. Let's go.
Fourth quarter underway. Knicks by 3. Neesmith shoots for 3. Ripped another one. 5 consecutive threes for Neesmith. A 16-4 run by Indiana.
We've seen Haliburton be special in these moments.
Oh boy, here we go.
At the foul line, step back straight on 2 points.
It's going in.
And in!
Back iron, and in! And in! Haliburton hit it!
And we have overtime.
And Indiana has won and captured game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals on the road in the Garden.
All that basketball left to be played.
Well, well, well. We know how Stephen A's doing. Jay, Will, how are you this morning?
Orange and bruised?
Oh, bruised.
Huh.
I get it.
How long you been working on that?
Monica?
I thought about it for a second. But that's for essay.
You know, Molly is game 1. Got to learn, got to adjust. You know.
Why are your lips pursed?
Essay, I'm concerned. I just want to check on a friend. How are you? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? Like, tell me. Talk to me.
First of all, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're not concerned about me. You have no sympathy, no empathy for me whatsoever. I'm not buying it, and I don't want to hear it from you. Jay, good morning. Monica, how are you smiling? How are you smiling, Monica? How is that possible? I mean, you were there. You were calling the game. How are you sitting in that chair with a smile on your face right now, Monica? I mean, what's up?
Just let it out.
We're supposed to be here. We're supposed to be here.
Well, here's the deal. That's game 1. You got 6 more, potentially. I think you just got to put it in perspective. I feel where you're coming from, but I think you got to put it in perspective. Game 7, I might have called out on the show. I got you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this fine program that is called First Take. We got 2 full live hours and a whole lot to unpack. According to Elias Sports Bureau, teams that trailed by 9+ in the final minute of the fourth quarter OT of a playoff game were 0 in 1,414 since 1998. That was entering Wednesday. Now, they're 1 in 1,414. Wow, those are some unbelievable odds. Okay, Stephen A., let's break it all down. Who's most to blame for the Knicks' collapse last night?
I'm not putting it on one person. It was a collective collapse of epic proportions. It was horrible, okay? My man OG Juan and the rest of the crew. I don't want to hear anything from anybody else. This is bad. This is very bad. The New York Knicks had a 17-point lead with 6:13 left in the game. 17 points. They had a 14-point lead with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in regulation. They had a 9-point lead with 52 seconds left in regulation. And they lost this game. They lost this game. And it would have been a regulation if Tyrese Haliburton's feet wasn't so big, a la Kevin Durant. They'd have lost the regulation if he was a half-inch back, and it would have been over because of his 3-point shot at the game. But his foot was on the line, so it goes into overtime, and ultimately, they end up losing. You're talking about the New York Knicks committing about 5 turnovers in clutch time. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about this cat Neesmith going in the last 5 minutes 6 for 6 from 3-point 3-point range, looking like the second coming of Steph Curry. We're talking about Tyrese Haliburton pointing at Reggie Miller and putting a choke sign up, mimicking that former great Indiana Pacers on the floor at Madison Square Garden. It was an epic collapse. There is no excuse for it. The New York Knicks, I thought, got a bit comfortable. You saw when they were up 17. You saw the run that they made without Jalen Brunson on the court because he was in foul trouble. You saw Karl Anthony Towns flexing and roaring at the crowd and all of this stuff, and then they got comfortable. And as a result, they started turning the ball over. They started taking ill-advised shots. They got a bit cocky and what have you, and it came back to bite them. If the New York Knicks lose this series, this is the game we're all going to look at forever. This is historic. We have seen nobody in NBA history come back from such a deficit in the last 2 minutes and 40 to 45 seconds. But it happened last night at the Garden. I'm sick to my stomach over it. I can't believe I didn't throw up because I certainly felt nauseous. I'm just that disgusted with this team right now. But again, there's still a series to play. Floor is yours.
Monica?
I agree. And there's not a individual that I think you put the responsibility of this loss on. I do think, though, to me, I can stomach giving up the lead because we've seen it throughout the league this entire season, and we've certainly seen it through this playoffs. In fact, the Knicks have been on the other side of it versus the Boston Celtics. To me, I'm struggling a little bit with the free throws late in the ball game because that was your opportunity at home to maintain a double possession ball game. So late, the free throws to me by Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby stand out. But there are a plethora of things to choose from in terms of the urgency, not finding Aaron Nesmith and respecting what he was able to do in that 5 minutes. But I have a ton of respect for the Pacers in this one. This is what they have done consistently through these playoffs so far, and you got to give them their credit.
The numbers that you just iterated, Molly, would say that that was probably the biggest choke in NBA playoff history. Right? Or one of them. That's what the numbers tell you, first and foremost.
It is. It
is, right? And look, I still think the Knicks can win the series. But the question is, who's the most to blame? And I agree with you both. I do think there are two interesting points to make about this, though. Because if you actually watch the tape of the game, first off, OG Anunoby has to be better. He has to be better. Not only offensively, but defensively. Agreed. His ass wasn't even in certain plays. We talked about attention to detail. Naismith, the fourth, fifth, and sixth threes that he made in that fourth quarter were plays in which OG was just kind of in no man's land. We're like, yo, he's already made for it. Get your ass up on the perimeter and pressure, force him to be a 2-point scorer instead of a 3-point scorer. And then this last one will probably be a little bit more controversial, and I get it because he is Mr. Clutch. 43 points. It's a big number. It's just not on him, right? But 7 turnovers is a really big thing. And there were some plays down the stretch where like, yo, I know you're tired. Like, big moments are made for big players. The one time where he's in the corner where he tries to throw the ball to the opponent, and he gets lucky, and then nobody gets the ball. The second time is another play, though, Stephen A. The turnover, like the pass that he made to OG, right? With 30 seconds left when they're up 5, when he gets into that gap. They have been so used to playing fast and just trying to beat the Pacers at their pace and scoring. How you manage the game for a guy who's a game manager is a really big thing. Because that turnover in which OG doesn't catch the ball, that allows them to come down and score again in that possession. That's where it's like, no, nobody else is going to get the ball here. I'm going to take the ball. I'm going to pull the ball back out. You're going to foul me. I'm going to make 2 free throws. We're going to be up 7 with 29 seconds left to go instead of them scoring in the game.
The only thing that I have to say to offer to you, Jay, is that's not controversial because Jalen Brunson, as he goes, this team goes. And yes, he had 43 points in this ball game, and that's terrific. But coming into last night, they are 7-1 in this postseason when he has 2 turnovers or less. When he has 2 or more, and with that loss now, they are 1-4. And so, yes, somebody has to be able to take a handle on understanding.
Chào cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm cây gió nhé.
Hai chữ gì cái quạt? Chị anh. Cái mà mua cái quạt đốm này. Hai sáu à?
Kia đó chị. nói nhiều này. Nói chung kỹ tính.
Bây giờ em chưa ở thế thôi. Ai cũng bảo đàn ông nhưng mà lâm hồn. Cái nào mò này em mới sẽ được cái gì không? Nói thẳng con cái cỏ lên nói cái nào. Gì cũng nói
Đúng rồi, làm gì không vừa ý là hay nói được. Em làm ở đây
không vừa ý nấu nước cũng nói, cái gì cũng nói được. Chả là tự nói mình, tự nói những cái đầu vặt thứ đó mà. Cô Phượng là đây đâu. Cô Phượng ở đây như thừa chị với cô Phượng thì nói chuyện không?
Vâng.
Cô chị như vậy à? Không chui không? Nói là giống như tính chị ấy, nói luôn chị không nói
Không
không hiện đâu.
Mẹ em cũng hay thế, có gì nói đấy á.
Không để được một bộ á. Thì chị chưa về cãi nhau xua.
Chưa về đây đã cãi nhau rồi.
Ôi kim chân chị kim chân mình bảo là muốn nát rượu ngày xưa nát hết.
Vâng.
Bây giờ nữ người xưa nát rượu này còn đánh chửi vợ con đánh mẹ